Hello YouTube, Retro Humanoid here, and I figured since this will be my first official video, it's probably best if I just sort of give you a tour around my game room. The first thing you're going to notice as we go around is that it's a very small room. I have limited space, but I do manage to try to pack in as much on the walls and stuff as I can to make it look more gamer-esque. So I guess we will start from here and I will work my way around the room. At the bottom is the Atari 2600, and above that I have the Titanfall art book, which I regret opening. I should have probably resold that. And a small stack of just video game magazines. Above that I have my Hyperspin computer. It's not a very powerful computer, but it does the job for retro type games, and it goes through this 27-inch CRT television. I have an adapter for it. I can probably make a video later to show anybody how to do that. If anybody is interested, just comment about it and I'll put something together to an Instructable of some kind for Hyperspin and getting it running through a regular CRT. Next to that I have the Retron 3. I do not own a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo or a Genesis. This seems to do the trick well. Now the only problem that I have with the Retron 3 is the audio for the Nintendo is pretty bad. But I can get past that most of the time. I do plan on looking for a Nintendo. It's just basically a waiting game. I'm not going to spend, $80, $100, whatever they're asking on eBay. I'd rather just wait it out and see if I find one, at a garage sale or whatever. And I have this little case here. It's an old CD case that I got at Goodwill for like $1, so I figured I'll just use it to hold random things. Made a little hole in the back for the DS charger. So I have a DS Lite, a few games there, 2 Xbox 360 controllers, which I use for the Hyperspin setup for both players, a little media remote, a keyboard, and a mouse. The reason for the keyboard and the mouse is that the Hyperspin setup actually has old DOS games. It has Amiga, Commodore 64, and the Scum VM. And basically I just get a little tray table and I set it up like a computer, and I can play those games on a 27-inch monitor. And it's pretty cool. These drawers, basically, for the most part, they're empty at the moment. I just have like extra Dreamcast controls and Saturn control, and ooh, a little tough to close. Super Nintendo, Zapper. I got some Nintendo controllers coming in the mail. They should be here today, hopefully. And just random junk, batteries, extension wires, and wireless receivers, stuff like that, and more random junk for the Wii that I never use, Xbox plugs, and blah blah blah. Next to that I have my printer for my computer, and underneath I keep all the paper and ink cartridges and stuff. It's a good printer. It's a Canon Pixma. It does the job. Not very fast when printing color in my opinion, but it gets it done. Prints it pretty good. And above all that I have my retro game shelf. The older games, I have my well, first it's my Nook, which I modded to have the droid interface, which is pretty cool. It's anybody interested in doing that, I may do a video on that as well to show how to get that done. But I will warn you, it's not the fastest tablet in the world because it's not designed for the droid interface, but it does play some games, and mainly I got it for PDFs because the original Nook does not read PDFs or display covers. So that's the reason I did it. Next to that, we'll sort of just go down the line. I'm not really going to name off any games, but and they're not totally in alphabetical order, but mainly I just sort of put the ones that I'm currently playing in the front, and then the rest behind it. And there's a few I'm still after. It's basically, I pick up most of my games at like Goodwill or yard sales and stuff. You basically just have to wait it out, unless you're made of money, which I'm not. And these are the Nintendo. You know, if you're made of money, you just basically go on eBay and buy everything you want. But that is not me. So, and a lot of these games I picked up for nostalgic reasons. I mean, I played them, rest of the Nintendos over here. I played them when I was a kid and really enjoyed them, and they have a lot of memories. So, you know, like X-Men, not a very good game, but, you know, I liked it as a kid, so I picked it up. What the heck. And don't get me wrong, some of them I have gone on eBay for, because some of them are only like $5, so I figured why not. I'll start from the top. My Genesis. And these are all custom cases, which is another sort of video that I plan to put together, hitting up on eBay and their whole custom cases sort of thing they got going on, where they're going to charge you $7-8, sometimes even 10 for a custom case for a game, a collector's case. You know, I paid maybe, I'd have to say 50 cents a case, between paper, ink, and the case, 50 cents each to put these together, and they're the same exact ones that are on eBay, so it's ridiculous. Anyways, so I have this little another CD holder I found for like $1, hanging on the wall here with some random PC games, nothing really that great. A little Wheel of Fortune handheld, my Atari games. I did have them in cases as well, but unfortunately I ran out of space, and it's just Atari, so they're gonna have to go to the side. A Frogger handheld, a giant D20 that I got from a buddy of mine, a giant Pikachu that I found at Goodwill for 50 cents. I have my Marvel, I forget the actual name for the series, but I love these little statues. Now, one thing I should probably say is that I've been collecting for about a year, a little bit over a year, but in actuality I've been collecting for over 2 years. We did have a apartment where we kept a lot of stuff that I had gotten, and it burned down. So yeah, all those things you hear, oh, what if your game collection burns and this and that? Yeah, it happened to me. So moving over, we have the Titanfall statue that I had just gotten recently, and I love this thing. The only thing that I have to say bad about it is some people complain that it bobs up and down, or you know, just random issues that you're not supposed to be running through your house with it. Okay, the only issue that I have with it is it looks fantastic until you get close, and the stand looks like cheap plastic. It really looks cheap. So, and I did have this guy sort of leaning back, or forward, I'm sorry. I had to sort of super glue his right heel to the stand, and that was like 2 weeks ago maybe, and it's been standing ever since. But all in all, the statue is a good statue. Would I pay $250 for it again? Probably not, but I have it already. So, alright, and moving down, I have my computer set up, as I do PC game as well as the game systems. I have my Killzone helmet, the 3 monitor setup. I have a game running, which I love this game, Lego Marvel. I figured a lot of times I'll see triple monitor setups on YouTube, and the first question people ask is, why do you have 3 monitors? What do you need 3 monitors for? Well, I figured I'd put on a game and show you why I personally have 3 monitors. It's for the 3D surround. I think it looks fantastic, and yes, you can get like a, it has about these are 25-inch monitors, so it has about a 40-inch corner to corner span, and yes, I can get a 40-inch TV or whatever, but in the end, it's not going to have the same resolution, and it's not going to produce the same picture that this produces. And the lines through the center of each screen like that, you get used to it over time. And I have my Logitech G7 10 Plus mechanical keyboard. Excellent keyboard. It was really heavy when I took it out of the box. It definitely was happy with this when I got it. My Nostromo, which this is like the third one I've owned, and for some odd reason, every single one of them, that center button loses the paint or the covering. It's weird. And I don't remember what it is, G600, Logitech G600, and the Tracer mouse pad. Now the LEDs have gone out on the left side, but unfortunately you can't get this mouse pad anymore. I haven't been able to find it. If anybody knows where to find another one, I'd love to get one. But they're extremely expensive on eBay, and I can't find one direct. So it's a great mouse pad, but the LEDs seem to go out. So that's the second one I've owned of that where the LEDs went out, and now I can't get another one. So what can you do? Forgive me if you can see dust in the video. I don't know if you can or not. But back there is my drive bay. It holds 4 2TB drives where I keep all of my media on. Music, HD movies, whatever. And it is completely surrounded with the Logitech 5.1 surround sound. It's not bad. There's better out there, but this does it. This does a job. It was like 75 bucks or something, brand new. And on the bottom here is the subwoofer, a media card reader, and my Xbox 360 wired controller. Just some junk down there, guitar books and stuff. And I have my external monitor over here for when I am playing a game. I can still access my desktop, and you know, I have a little clock up there. I don't know if you could see it or not. It's nice to be able to access my things on the side without having that tab out. And then behind the whole thing, I don't want to trip over thing behind me, I have put up this sort of display of lights in a Pac-Man type picture or whatever. Looks better in the dark. I mean, let me see. You could see it now in the dark here. It looks really cool. Kind of took a while to make this on my own, and that's another thing you're going to notice looking through the game room here, is that I do a lot of the artwork or the stuff hanging up sort of secondhand or by myself or whatever you want to call it, to save money, because some of these things are really expensive. Moving on, the same guy who gave me the D20 dice, he gave me these things, and they're really cool. I do need to find a better spot to hang those though. They kind of look off to me being over there. And then below it is some of my smaller stuff. Angry Birds, got those at Goodwill for like $1/4 each. Sheldon, love Sheldon. A computer pencil holder, Goodwill. The Minecraft torch, Goodwill. Minecraft creeper. V, awesome movie. Akira, awesome movie. And some brony stuff. Yes, brony stuff. And I have my Logitech G930 headset, which I love. It went on sale shortly after I bought it, and what can you do? I have this little light thing that strobes whenever it hears sound. It's creepy. And my computer, built it myself, and I ran 2 GTX 680s. They're the 4GB model. Excellent cards. I don't see having to replace them anytime soon, so it was definitely a good buy. I believe at the time I bought them, I spent quite a bit on them. Probably close to $1,000 for both. It was a year ago. So, and then I have I love Corsair. I love Corsair stuff. So my computer is basically loaded with Corsair. I have the Corsair water cooler, Corsair RAM cooler with the digital readout, and the Corsair power supply, the fans, everything is Corsair. I just love their brand. And then I had to special order the side panel for the HAF case. Okay, now moving around to more actual game stuff. Now these are my Guitar Hero and Band Hero guitars for the 360 and the Wii, and then the drums for the 360 and the Wii. I found all of these at Goodwill. I believe the guitars were like $2 each, and the drums were probably less than that. And I do have the legs for the Wii one, and I got a couple of extra bass pedals and stuff, and it was just like super cheap. Like all of this stuff for less than $10. Of course I had to bring it home and clean it up, but you know, well worth it. $10, why not? And this I actually made myself. It's a Nintendo Mobile, whatever. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's on hard sort of cardboard backing, and then I basically just drew the pictures for each side, and then used some spray glue, pasted them onto there, cut them out, hung a generic light gun that I had ordered from eBay that didn't work very well right in the center, and Nintendo, blah blah blah. Excuse me. Okay, moving on. My Halo helmet with my Master Chief Funko Pop figure. I'd like to get the rest of that series, but not on the top of my list at the moment. I have my 42-inch LG LED screen television, and then above it there's this little switch, and what that does is that turns on and off the game systems for this particular television, so that, you know, I'm not running them on standby all of the time and wasting energy. I have my Halo 4 Edition Xbox 360. I have my 3 Wavebird controllers and my Wii, which is modded. There's a 1.5 terabyte drive attached to it, and I play all my GameCube and Wii games through there. Below it I have a PlayStation 2 and a game switcher, as this current TV actually only has one input and then one HDMI. So the HDMI is for the 360, the one input is for everything else here, so I need a switcher. And my cable box. And here is my Xbox, which is modded. It has CoinOps 5 on there, the latest revision. I believe I have about 4,500 games. I started adding some, but then I was like, you know, it's not really, I don't really need that many games on there. I have all the ones that I want. So I'll explain what those things are underneath in a second. In here I just keep my extra PlayStation 2 controllers and stuff. Those I got from Goodwill as well. I mean, I found a box with like 8 controllers in it for PS2 and paid $8 for it. And only one of them didn't work right. Brought it home, opened it up, checked it out, fixed it, and it works now. And then on this side I just keep my TV remote and stuff, and excuse me if the camera goes out of focus. And my Xbox controls, extra ones. Okay, so these things underneath on the floor here that I had just kind of sticky tacked underneath so I don't have to keep putting them on and off are the adapters for the X arcade sticks that I have, that I'll get to in a second. And then that's for the Xbox. I figured I have CoinOps, so why not get the arcade sticks? And then here is for the dual player X arcade stick that I have for the 360. It's plugged in there. Okay, moving on. Over here I have my 2 Halo 4 controllers, and I have the Wii Fit board, the DJ Hero board, both of those from Goodwill for like a couple bucks each. I have my Mario and Luigi Wii controllers on a, what do they call that, induction charger. Works really well, although I have noticed that the Mario one doesn't keep a charge. Maybe that's something wrong with the battery, I don't know, but I gotta look at that sometime. I actually don't play the Wii enough to really care at the moment, but I'll get to it. Up here, some extra Wii controllers if we have extra people come over. The red and green Afterglow nunchucks. The classic controller, which actually survived the fire. I was able to get back in the building and try to pull out as much as I could, and that actually survived. I had to scrub it quite a bit, and it still didn't come all the way clean, but As far as I know, they don't sell those anymore, or Nintendo stopped selling them or making them or whatever. So I guess it's good I saved it. Extra nunchucks, microphone, 3 of the drums. Still got to get a 4th one, and 3 of the wheels. And then next to it, I have my other entertainment center, which there's a plug back there that turns that on and off. I need to get another wireless plug, so I have a switch on the wall instead. I have my Nintendo 64, my PlayStation 1, my Saturn, and my Dreamcast. And flanking those are Mario with his controller and Luigi with his controller. And I couldn't figure out what to do with those two, and I thought this was an excellent idea because it's almost like, for a change, Mario and Luigi are playing us. And underneath I keep the Saturn control, the Orbit one, and then a couple of Dreamcast controllers, just so that I don't have to go digging for them later. And then I run those through a Sony Trinitron 32-inch flat screen, and it produces a fantastic picture. I need to get another game switch for this TV. I don't like having wires kind of hanging out in the front. I really don't like that. I think it's ugly. So I need to get a game switch to take care of that. And then standing above that is Mr. Darth Vader himself. Just picked this up the other day. I love this figure. A 21-inch figure is 30 bucks. I figured that was pretty damn good for a Darth Vader figure. And these posters are not actual posters. Yet another thing that I made myself. I sort of printed them out on hard cardstock and pieced them together. You could see some of them have lines in them, but that's okay. I haven't found these posters available anywhere, you know, in full size or whatever. And then maybe eventually I'll go to Walmart and get them printed out for real. But in the meantime, they look good this way, in my opinion. And of course, this is Phantasy Star Online. And then you have Guilty Gear, and then Link is back here, and then Metal Gear Solid. And then to the right of that are a couple of other things that I did. I did a sort of 3D portrait cutout of Contra, and a 3D portrait cutout of Duck Hunt. It's hard to see on this camera, but it's multi-leveled, and I like that. I'm going to do more probably. I'm looking to maybe do a Donkey Kong one and maybe a Castlevania one. And then I have these little cutouts that I made with some of the loose material I had from there, where I just took some posters from offline and sort of spray glued them to it and make some filler artwork on the wall. Metal Slug, one of my favorite games there, and then my Sonic plush Cabela rifle. Got that from Goodwill for $1. Wireless Ps2 guitar. If you couldn't tell, I love Guitar Hero, love Band Hero. My Aliens Colonial Marines, I refuse to open that. I'm going to keep it in the box only because I get a lot of dust here, and it's hella hard to clean figures and stuff, and I figure this has a nice window on it. You can see it through there, so I'll just keep it in the box. Why not? And then the Killzone figurine. My PS1 collection. Now, I do have the cases for these, but I prefer to have them in the custom DVD cases with the custom artwork. And I got these from the Cover Project. And I prefer this because there's no risk of it actually breaking the cases or anything like that. And, you know, kids play in this room. My kids play here. So I'd rather have it safer. Not saying they're going to get hurt on a plastic case, but I'm saying safer in the way for my stuff. Let's put it that way. And then next to it is my Saturn games. Only a few. I haven't really worked on the PS1 or Saturn collection a lot. When I get to it, I'll get to it. A little tough to find some of the Saturn games for cheap. Next to that, that is not the magazine, but I do intend on finding the magazine someday, and I'll put it in a little frame. I like that picture for the Virtual Boy, and I have my Virtual Boy. It didn't work entirely when I picked it up, but I got it for like 70 bucks. It has the AC adapter and everything, the battery pack and all that. I just popped it open, fixed the strip, the little electric strip on there, and it works perfect now. And then my Mario plush sitting next to it. And then underneath I have a stand that I built for my X-Arcade sticks. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it holds them up. That's the important part. So basically, I have the 4 solo player sticks for the 4 players in the Xbox, the coin ops, and they have the wires on them. So all I have to do is just pick it up from that shelf, come over here, and plug it right in, and I'm good to go. And for those that don't X-Arcade sticks know, they know there's a lot of wires involved with them. So I just figured I'll just leave everything hooked up the way it is and have one plug. It's easier that way. Over here I have the closet. Not much in here to really show off. I have my board game collection. I go to Goodwill a lot, so we pick up a lot of board games if they're complete. Except for Risk. I only found that once, and it was missing the cards for the countries. So I went ahead and ordered. I found it like $3 or $4 on eBay, so I ordered them, and now it's complete. So, but for the most part, we find our games and little handheld games and stuff like that at Goodwill for pretty cheap. And then I just have boxes and stuff up here for things, and some more guitars for Guitar Hero that I had picked up, bass pedals, guns, dance mats, another set of drums. I actually tabletop roleplay, so this is my box of stuff I DM. And then some of my books, I have GURPS and White Wolf and just a lot of role-playing books. Carcassonne, Netrunner. The same guy who gave me the weapons actually gave me a lot of this stuff, so it was nice of him. Magic cards, Magic the Gathering. My girlfriend's son likes to play Magic. I do as well. Have tons of those, and then just some random comic book stuff that I've gotten that I wanted. I always wanted it when I was a kid, and some of it I had, and just figured I'd get it back. You know, some Marvel cards and series 1, 2, 3, and 4, and stuff like that, and then the Wizard magazines 1 through 25. And then some manga I picked up at Goodwill that is currently for sale on eBay. Nintendo bag, Halo poster from the collector's helmet, some lights around there just so I can see at nighttime in the closet. And then now I'm moving, oops, sorry, gotta move out of the way here. Moving on to the next shelf that I had just built a couple months ago. It's a little worse for wear in parts. I'm not exactly a championship woodworker, but I did the best I could. Up here I have a little Halo figurine and the box for the Death Smiles, and then my box for the Halo 4 Xbox and the Wii and the X-Arcade stick. Here's the Nintendo 64 games. Once again, custom cases for all of these. I really wanted to get all of the games in custom cases because I can't stand seeing loose cartridges just kind of sitting out on the shelf. It just bugs me. And especially Nintendo 64, you know, they don't have the end labels, so yeah. And then Dreamcast custom cases. I love the DVD cases, and I actually ordered, specifically ordered orange so that it would sort of have that Dreamcast color for my Dreamcast games. There's quite a few of them, but wait till you see the PS2. I'll just sort of go down the line here. There's some sports games, you know, but that's unavoidable sometimes, you know. But luckily the Dreamcast sports games were fantastic, so it's not a problem at all. And then I have my, let me just sort of draw back here for a minute. I have my PS2 collection on the bottom 3 shelves there. And then some Xbox games on the side. I'll go through the PS2. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because it's hard to maneuver around this corner. Now the PS2 games, I get a lot of them outside of their cases, so I wind up having to make sort of custom cases, which is good for the cover project. They have a lot of them that I need, but sometimes they don't, and I have to search or I have to create one myself. But that's, you know, that's what you do when you're looking for the best prices on this stuff, and you don't want to pay, you know, thousands of dollars to get stuff that shouldn't be priced that high. And then moving on to the next shelf. Now maybe a question everybody's going to ask is, do you play all of these games? And my answer would have to be, not really, but I plan on it. You know, someday the kids are going to move out of the house, and I don't see my love for video games ever dying out. So, you know, at that point, I'm going to have a hell of a time playing all these games. At the moment, I do play some of them. You know, I play what I can. I am a stay-at-home dad, so I do get free time, but like right now, only when the baby is taking a nap. I have a 2-year-old, so, you know, there's responsibilities, but there's time to play video games. It comes along once in a while, and when it does, I have them to play. So that's almost all of them. Oh my goodness, I hope the camera's not shaking too much. I have to sit at a weird angle to show off these. And then on the bottom, just a few more. And then the random sports titles, and then Xbox games. And then I have my X-Arcade dual stick. I do regret getting this one. I should have got the one with the roller ball, but it's a little late once you've already purchased it and you've had it for a couple months. Maybe next year I'll get the one with the roller ball. I do plan on building an arcade machine, so it'll probably happen. And here I have the Mortal Kombat bookends holding my 360 games, and I'll go down the line for that. A lot of these I got without cases, especially from GameStop, because, you know, when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out, they were trying to get rid of all of their 360 games and PS3 games, so I picked up a lot of the 360 games, but they came in those little paper sleeves, so I had to make, Xbox version, I had to make cases for them, which isn't a problem. Like I said, I owe a lot of this room to the cover project. And then up top, my Mario Party 9 poster, and then some stickies on the wall, and a Zelda poster that I printed, a Carcassonne bag filled with dice, and then the last thing to show probably is across the top, all of the Mega Man sort of stickers that fill in the ceiling. It's empty if they're not there. Okay, I believe that is it. It was a long video. I don't know if I wound up having to split it into 2 or what, but either way, I plan on making many more. Hopefully getting some reviews of some of the games. I'm a big role player, so, you know, maybe play some role-playing games and show off the best parts, or give you an idea what I think. And my girlfriend's son is not here actually right now. He is better known as Pixel, and he'll be on the channel as well, giving his opinion on some of the older games, and it'll be interesting to hear what he thinks about them. But yeah, I mean, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Was the camera too shaky? Did I say too many times? You know, just let me know. And if you have any ideas, or you see something that you like in the room, or that you want to know how to do, something that I made, just let me know. Send me a message, send me a comment. But definitely subscribe, and you'll see videos from the room a lot more. Alright, thanks.